Isona ke statement esabhalwa noma ke sathathwa yona ke imanje nge-24 zikaJune 2020.
What was the need for you to obtain a second confession from the magistrate?
Well, my lord, I think the court will recall that I said on the 23rd of June, the day before, the accused was with his attorney, Mr. Mjiako. There was a discussion as to who are the state representatives insofar as the NPA is concerned. Advocate Baloyi and the other two advocates were mentioned. Out of those discussions, because it was there, my lord, at that stage, that accused too was willing to work with the state, and that was the process that was followed. That then, it gave rise to the existence of Exhibit JJ. Those discussions that started then and moved on even after the appearance until they fell off, my lord.
Manje ke kwakuyini ke isizathu noma imbangela ke yokuthi ke manje kube nalesi statement lesibili ke lesi sake 24 zika June 2020 lesi ke esathathwa yona ke imanje bese bengikushilo ke lokho ngaphambilini ukuthi ke nazo i23 zika June 2020 umsolwa ke kanye ke nalowo wayemele ngaleso sikhathi yena ke uMr Mjiako bafuna ukwazi ke noma babefisa ukuthi bazi ukuthi obani ke abamele umbuso ila manje esekukhulunywa khona ke kuneyingxoxo ke ezaqhubeka nasemuva kokuthi sebebingelele imanje enkantolo kodwa ke kunala zingazange iqhubeke khona ke ilokho ke ekwaholela ekuthini kube nalesi statement lesi esabhala yona imanje.
In the trial, within the trial, when this question was posed to you, why was there a need for the second confession? Didn't you testify that it appeared that accused number 2 was now distancing himself from the statement that was obtained by Colonel Rapap?
No way, no.
Awuzange ukusho yini ngaphambilini manje kubuza ke lo mbuzo ukuthi ke manje isizathu kwakuwukuthi ke umsolo wesibili wayeseyiqhelanisa ke nestatement lesi esenziwa kuyena uKenneth Raphathu ngikuso ukuthi cha ke akusiyona ke akuzange kwenzeke ngaleyo ndlela.
No, that's not what I said.
Angikushongo ke lokho.
Now, was there additional evidence other than what you've testified about HH? Was there additional evidence that was discovered after the obtaining of Exhibit JJ?
Your man, one will have then to really look at the docket and see the sequence of the statements because remember Exhibit HH and JJ, when the investigation, for example, of Sizwe Zungu with the statements, they were taken collectively because they were saying similar things, but there was more in Exhibit JJ. So there are other things that were followed here, but one will have to look at the docket in terms of the dates to see what is it that was mentioned in Exhibit JJ that was then followed and then attached in the docket.
Ingabe manje ke uma kubhekwa noma kuphuma ke na ke Exhibit JJ lona khona yini obunye ubufakazi obengezelekile obatholakala yini ke kuzofanele umuntu abheke ke manje kulona ke idokodoke ngoba ke uma usubheka ke kuyena ke uJJ kanye futhi naye ke uSizwe Zungu ukuthi babekhuluma ke izinto ke noma bekhuluma besho ke okodwa kuzofanele ke umuntu abheke kulona idokodoke ngokulandelana ukuthi kwaholela ekuthi kutholakaleni ke emuva kwakhe uJJ.
And after the 26th of June 2020, regarding the follow-up question to what I've asked now, anything different from HH that you followed up?
Well, what was different, my lord, what I recall, and I'm saying from the top of my head, and I'm not saying it's the only thing, is that after the 26th of June, it was brought to my attention by the state representative that specifically Mr. Ramsipil is saying his client was now in KZN on the 27th of October 2020. So this is the second alibi that was given. That came after. I'm trying to answer you.
I'm talking about JJ, the actual confessional statements. I'm not talking about alibis.
Yes, but I'm understanding you to be saying what came after. So
that's what emanated from JJ that you then followed up, because already you've got HH and then you go and obtain additionally JJ from the magistrate.
No, that's not how I understood the question, my lord. The first part of the question was, and I answered it to say if I have to see or check as to what is it that I followed in addition to HH arising from JJ, I've answered it, that one will have to look at the docket so that I can see the sequence of the filing of the statements in terms of the date. I understood the last question to be saying, other than what is contained in JJ, what is it that is new that I have discovered, and that's what I was trying to answer.
Ebengizama ukuphendula ke manje bengizombuza ngathi ke ikuphi okusha ke manje obatholakala lana ke ku JJ engakulandelela ke.
Yeah, so you want the witness to go and read the docket?
No.
For him to answer?
No.
What do you want him to do?
My lord, I'll argue this point because...
How do you argue? Because he wants to tell you what he did.
He
and then he says he has to
read the docket.
Are you saying that?
He's at liberty to look at
yes.
the docket.
Yeah, but then how do you argue when he has not answered?
You are at liberty to look at the docket to see subsequent to JJ what else was followed. That was different because you wouldn't go and duplicate the same statements. There should have been something over and above what was contained in HH.
So, must I do it now? Is that this?
No, we'll take it after the long adjournment.
Okay, man.
Now, having looked at the statements, because you had already said in the context that I cannot refer you to the contents of this statement because you were not the person that took the statements, both HH and JJ. Are you aware of any inconsistencies and contradictions, major ones, between HH and JJ?
No, my lord. But even then, to be precise and to be fair to the question that I've been asked, because I was not looking for contradiction, I was looking for collaboration, and I said there is collaboration, my lord.
Ingabe manje khona ke okwaziyo yini ke ongahlangani noma ke okushayisana nayo ke kule statement embili lezi sikhuluma ngo HH kanye naye ke uJJ ngoba ke ngibe ngingabhekile ke lokho kodwa bengibheke ukuthi ke yikuphi ke okushiwoyo kulesi statement bese kuyatholakala nakulesi.
Yeah. No, fine.
Now, Brigadier, let me leave the contents of the statement alone, because that is evidence that is before court. Now, I just want to clarify 2-3 questions, then I'm done with it. Yes. You stated earlier, and I asked you last week, of the people that you say they saw suspects running away from the crime scene. And last week you mentioned only Makaleni. Was that the only witness that testified that, that stated in a some statement that they saw people running away from the Kumalo household?
Yes, that's the statement, my lord, that I recall with certainty. That because the question was as to whether there is a witness that says he saw the suspect running directly from the crime scene, from the Kumalo's house. And my answer was that yes, Makaleni is one of the people that I know with certainty that his statement says he saw people running away from the Kumalo's house, and one of the suspects was carrying a firearm. The other ones in my recollection will see them on the street, but specifically from the crime scene, it's Makaleni that I recall.
Uma ngikhumbula kahle ke umbuzo engawubuza evikele endlule ukuthi ke ungabe sikhona yini statement esofakazi ukuthi ke wababona ke noma wabona abantu bephuma kuya muzwa kaKhumalo ke ila ngishilo khona ke ukuthi ke sikhona ke statement sakhe ke uMakeleni ekuyena ke washo ukuthi yebo wababona ke bephuma kuya muzi, abanye futhi ke ukuthi omunye wabo wayephethe isibhamu, abanye kwakuthi nje babona ke emgwaqweni kodwa yena ke uMakeleni ukuthi wababona bephuma kuya muzi.
Now, the other aspect related to the question that I asked you as to why an ID parade was not held in this matter, regarding particularly accused number 2 upon his arrest, that he be brought to an ID parade lineup and the people that were in the house are called to come and identify whoever they can see on the lineup. And you stated that one of the reasons why it was not held was that Tumelo Madala and Togosi Sitwala were equivocal, saying they were 50-50 about identification of the suspects, correct?
Yes. The answer was to that extent, my lord. But the person who said 50-50 in my recollection is Tumelo Mazala, and then Togosi Sitwala I think said he was uncertain, but he didn't say he can't, but he said he was not sure. Mazala is the one who said 50-50, and I'm trying to go to the specifics of the statement. Insofar as the others are concerned, my lord, I did say that it was not a standalone investigation; it was prosecutorial driven. So you will get guidance from the prosecution as to which witness you can utilize for that purpose, my lord.
Ngokumelana uTumelo Madlala kanye naye ke umthokozi Sitwala uTumelo washo ke yena ke ukuthi ke kusengenzeka ke amathuba ukuthi ke 50-50 usengakhomba usengangakhombi ke kwabese ukuthi umthokozi Sitwala ke yena ke washo ukuthi unongaba zakhe noma ke enginako isiqiniseko sokuthi ke usengakwazi ukuthi akhombe mayelana nabanye ofakazi ke ngishilo ke ukuthi ke sasiholwa ke noma ngangiholwa ke abeshushisi ke ukuthi basho ukuthi obani ke singabasebenzisi ke mayelana nalokho ukuthi ke kuyo kwenziwa yona ke iparade.
And these responses, my lord, were contained in the statement because I approached them, and so when they gave answers to this 50-50 and not to it, it's contained in a statement that I took and attached in the document.
Futhi ke le impendulo zabo ke abanikeza ngazo ke ngikhuluma ngaye ke uTumelo Madlala kanye nomthokozi Sitwala ke zikhona ke istatement zabo ke lezo impendulo babezisho ngangibhala phansi bese ngiyayifaka kudona idokodo.
Now at this point, Brigadier, I want to put accused version to you. Accused number 2 denies that he is one of the intruders that entered 13511 Kutlano Street, Mzamo section, Fosloras on the 26th of October 2014.
Well, my lord, I'll start with exhibit HH and JJ says different, and he's the deponent in those two exhibits, other than what is contained in the statements of other witnesses that I've mentioned, my lord.
Sengizosho kuwena ke manje ukuthi uthini ke umsola wesibili uthi ke yena ke uyaphika ke uyaphikisana ke nokuthi ke uwomunye wabantu ke abangena ke kuloya muzi u13511 Khudlanong Street nomzamo section ephosphorus. Lokho ke kuyaphikisana ke naloku okubhaliwe ke ku exhibit HH kanye no JJ ekuyena ke umuntu ke owakhuluma lokho okubhalwe lapho kanye futhi ke nokubhalwe kwezinye ke istatement zabanye ofakazi.
Accused number 2 will further deny that he is the so-called second intruder who entered that house that was described as dark, tall, with a beard and wearing a hoodie.
My lord, as I said also, the same answer. Exhibit HH and JJ is the deponent. He says he was the second intruder, according to these exhibits, my lord.
Uyaphikisa ke nokuthi ke uyena ke owesibili ke kulaba njengoba kuthiwa kwangena abantu ababili ukuthi yena ke ulo wesibili abantu abamchaze ukuthi ke uyena ke owayemude futhi ke efake nesibhoko noma ke ihudi. Lokho ke futhi ke ngizoya ke kulamazibiti amabili ke HH no JJ uyayichaza noma uyazisho ke lapho ukuthi uyena ke lo kwabo wesibili.
Accused number 2 will deny that he was involved in the planning and execution of the killing of the deceased, that is Mr. Robert ngoMeyiwa.
My lord, once more, the two exhibits, HHJJ, made by accused 2, says otherwise, my lord. So it differs with the assertion that I'm being told now, my lord.
Okwesibili ke umsolo wesibili ukuthi wayengasiyona ke ingxenye yokuhlelwa ke noma ke ukuplanwa kanye nokuthi ke futhi bese kuyaqhutshekwa ke manje nesigameko noma nesenzo leseko sokuthi ke abulawe yena ke uMr. Robert ngoMeyiwa. Ngiphinde ngisho ke futhi ukuthi lokho ke manje uyehluka ke nalokho okubhaliwe lana ke ku exhibit HH kanye naye ke uJJ.
Accused number 2 will deny that he knows the actual perpetrators of this offense and he does not even know how the offense occurred.
No, that's not correct, my lord. The two exhibits places him as one of the perpetrators, supported by other evidence that we collected, my lord, the statements in the investigation.
Nokuthi ke futhi ke uyabazi ke abantu okuyibona ke abenza ke ise lokho ke ukuthi kulaba ke umufi ngalelo langa lelo akusona ke iqiniso lelo ngoba ke futhi lana kuzona ke le statement embili ke uyasho ukuthi umunye ke walabo bantu kanye futhi nobunye ubufakazi ke obukwi-statement zabanye ofakazi.
Accused number 2 will deny that on the 26th of October 2014 he was present at the Basotho hostel in Phosphorus in the company of Constable Zungu, Makosonke Zungu, Sfiso Gwabeni Zungu, and the co-accused herein and other persons that Constable Zungu testified about.
My lord, same exhibit JJ and HH. Accused 2 places himself with the said people, my lord. Insofar as Constable Zungu, Makosonke, that evidence is contained in the statements that were taken from different people, including Constable Zungu, who places him with these other people and at the hostel on the 26th of October 2014, my lord.
Futhi ke umsolo wesibili ke uthi yena ke 26 ka October 2014 wayengasiyona ke ingxenye yabantu ababekhona ke noma wayengekho lapho eBasotho hostel kanye nalabantu ke ababaliwe ke uMakosonke, uSfiso, uGwabeni kanye naye ke uConstable Zungu. Lokho ke akusona ke iqiniso ngoba ke kule statement ezimbili ke uyasho ukuthi wayekhona ke lapho kanye futhi nazo ke istatement zalabo ke ababaliwe aboMakosonke Zungu abogwabeni kanye naye ke uConstable Zungu abashoyo ukuthi impela wayekhona lapho.
Accused number 2 will deny that he personally knows Ms. Kedi Khumalo and does not know who ordered or who paid for the killing, if it was a contractual killing, if it was a robbery gone bad. He does not know any of these details.
Well, my lord, I'll agree with the second point before the last, which says he personally does not know Ms. Kedi Khumalo, because that's what contained in his statement. He does say he doesn't know her, but he is aware, according to these exhibits, that the contractual order of the killing of the deceased came from Ms. Kedi Khumalo. So to say he doesn't know her, I don't have evidence that proves that he knows her, so I agree with that part. But that this was not a contractual killing ordered by Ms. Kedi Khumalo where he played a part. That part is not true, my lord.
Okunye futhi kaqhubeke kumsolo wesibili athi ke yena ke akamazi uMs. Kedi Khumalo nokuthi futhi ke kwakhokha ke lana kwakhokhela abantu ukuthi akabahambe ke bayibulala umufi nalokho ke akanalwazi ke lwalokho. Ngizovumelana ke nalokho kokuqala ukuthi ke akamazi uMs. Kedi Khumalo anginabo ubufakazi obushoyo ukuthi uyamazi nalabo istatement sakhe uyasho ukuthi akamazi kodwa ke lokho kokuthi ke akazi noma wayengazi ukuthi ke ubani owakhokhela ke noma ke owakhipha ke imali ukuthi akhanjwe ke bulala umufi lokho ke angivumelani nako akusona iqiniso.
In fact, my lord, in both exhibit HH and JJ, accused 2 mentions the amount he received after the deceased was shot. I think it's in the tune of 45,000 rand, but it comes in 2 benches, my lord.
Futhi ke kuzona zoyimbili ke le statement lezi ke uHH kanye naye ke uJJ uyasho ke lapho umsolo wesibili ukuthi imalini ke ayikhokhelwa la emuva kokuthi umufi eseshonile ke kwakuyi 45,000 kodwa ke yakhokhwa ke amahlandla amabili ke uyayisho imali lapho ukuthi ke imalini ayikhokhela.
Accused number 2 will state that at the time from 2009 2016, he was gainfully employed, and again from 2017, first at Sibanye Gold, from 2009 to 2016, and also again from 2017 until the date of his arrest on the 16th of June 2020.
So Malat, let me start with the first part. I do not seem to have evidence that when he was arrested he was employed. I don't have that evidence, but I'm not disputing if he says it, but I don't seem to have that evidence. But let me go back to the Sibanye mine. I agree that from 2009, that's his employment records, up to 2016, he was employed. That's a fact. However, on the date of the incident of this matter, he was not at work, and that relates to the first alibi that he gave us, the false one, where he suggested that he was at work on the 26th, and the contrary was found when we followed that alibi. So, but yes, he was employed by Sibanye Mine, hence we're able to establish that when he says he was at work on that specific day, the 26th of October 2014, that was not actually true, but he was employed by that mining company.
Umsola wesibili yaqhubeka-ke athi-ke ukusuka ngaye-ke u-2009 kuyoshaya-ke u-2016 wayesebenza-ke sebenzela yona-ke isibanye base kuthi-ke futhi-ke nango-2017 kwaze kwayisikhathi sokuboshwa kwakhe-ke nalapho wayesebenza-ke ngeyi-16 zikaJune 2020. Angifuni-ke ukuthi angikuphikisi-ke kodwa-ke anginaso nje isiqiniseko noma ubufakazi-ke ukuthi-ke ngalesi sikhathi sokuboshwa kwakhe ngempela wayesebenza, kodwa-ke lokho ngakusho-ke ukuthi-ke ukusuka ngayo u-2009 kuyoshaya u-2016 impela wayesebenzela yona-ke isibanye, ila sasiye khona-ke uma esesitshela-ke ukuthi ngalo ilanga langeyi-26 zika-October 2014 wayesemsebenzini, sesiye khona-ke siyoqinisekisa lokho. Kodwa-ke sathola-ke ukuthi ngalo ilanga lelo langeyi-26 October 2014 ngalelo langa lelo wayengekho emsebenzini.
Accused number 2 will deny that he was a hitman in the taxi killings or any other contract killings for that matter, as he was again gainfully employed from 2009 to 2016 and again from 2017 until the date of his arrest on the 16th of June 2020.
My Lord, the collected evidence, statements and witnesses that we interviewed and obtained statements says otherwise. I don't know if it will be fair that I go into, but they say otherwise. So I don't agree with that, because what I know says something different.
Aqhubeke-ke umsolo wesibili athi-ke yena-ke uyaphika-ke noma uyaphikisana-ke nako-ke okushiwoyo-ke noma-ke inkulumo ezithi-ke wayeyinkabi-ke okwakulawa khona-ke kumkhakha wezamatekisi, ngokuthi-ke ngaleso sikhathi leso-ke yena-ke wayesebenza nanjengoba kushiwo-ke ukusuka ngo-2009 kuyoshaya i-2016 nango-2017 kuyoshaya-ke isikhathi noma kuyofika-ke kwisikhathi sokuboshwa kwakhe. Kodwa mina-ke enginako-ke kwiy'tatimende enginazo zabofakazi-ke basho okuhlukile-ke kunalokhu akushoyo-ke yena la.
As the court pleases me, my Lord, before I sit down, let me consider.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you, Madam. I mean, those are all the questions that I have for the brigadier.
Okay. So this other answer,
The other aspect, my lord, for him to go and look at the further follow-ups, my lord, I will take it up with him when he has looked at the docket. When he has already revisited the docket on that aspect.
what's the time then, Mr. Lawrence?
It's 26 minutes before 1.
2?
26 minutes before 1.
Okay. Well, how long will it take you to check your docket?
20 minutes less, my lord.
Why not 10 minutes or 15 minutes?
Yes, I can do.
Let's adjourn for 15 minutes so that Mr. Ramsey, when he's through with you, he's through with you.
Yes.
Okay.
10 minutes will be
Yeah,
sufficient.
10 minutes. Okay.